Yo, what's up, lads? What's up, lads? Welcome to yet another long-awaited episode. I'd honestly do a lot of these, but I'm not really getting the reception I was hoping for, at least. But nonetheless, we go, man. Yeah. I just want to quickly go over how I got this very beautiful trade over here, trading NAS100 today. I'm running over 500 peeps. Currently running 80k in profit. Okay, to 80k. Check the screen, boy. Check the screen, boy. Check the screen, boy. Yeah, baby. Yeah. But let's just quickly jump into this before I get excited, man. Basically, how I start every trade is top-down analysis. Trust me, top-down analysis. You need to know what's going on and a higher perspective or broader perspective, you want to call it. So I would usually jump in like a daily time frame or weekly time frame just to get my overall bias to figure out the overall direction of price, right? So with this, I jumped to my daily just to look for structure, bro, right? Just look for market structure, and then from that I was able to spot support here. Right, this is basically what was supporting price, or what is supporting price, or whatever. But this was what was supporting price before it eventually broke out, right, and came back. This might have trapped a lot of traders, right? If you're not patient enough, you might have got into this trap, right? But in instances like these, just wait, man. Just wait. The market will show you what it wants to do, right? In this case, it'll either print a pattern, whether a reversal pattern, continuation pattern, just to let you know what it wants to do, right? So now that I had my daily structure, right, and I can see right here that it broke out of this uptrend, right? So I want to see what happened exactly in the break. What it's printing, is it printing a reversal pattern, continuation pattern? So I will jump in lower time frame because I don't actually see structure here, right? Jump in 4 hours. Straight from that 4 hours, I was able to see what type of structure broke the daily trend, right? We had this beautiful downtrend here. This would mark our resistance, and this would mark our support, right? Resistance and support, resistance, ceiling, support, floor. Easy way to know. So we'll mark our support, right? We were moving in a downtrend, right? Broke price, but after breaking price, after breaking our daily trend, right, we quickly came back. But in 4 hours, we can see that it moved in a consolidative manner after it broke this resistance over here, right? So we then zoom in that consolidated pattern, try to figure out whether we won't see any form of support or resistance. And straight from that, I was able to see resistance here, said support. I was able to see resistance over here. All right, this is what's holding price from breaking upwards. All right, this is what's holding price from breaking upwards, and then we have our support. It's holding price from falling. What was holding price from falling, right, before it eventually broke out, right? So when I said earlier, what we're looking for chart patterns or any pattern, right? But in this case, it was chart patterns, right? Looking for whether the market is printing a reversal pattern or a continuation pattern. And in this case, after it broke our daily support, right, it printed a continuation pattern, which is a rising wedge or a rising channel, whatever you want to call it. But it printed a rising wedge, right? And it broke out support of that rising wedge and it was coming back. Remember, this wasn't there, right? This is new, so it was coming back. So with those, I can easily spot, well, I easily came up with a bias on what I want to do, when to do it, right? I knew that if I'm going to be looking for sales, the only place I'm going to be looking for sales, right, is at this support when it turns to resistance, like now, right? This is actually when I would be selling, like really right now I would be selling, but you're not here for that. You want to see how I took buy from here, right? So now that I know that the market has to come up, right, and retest the support, right, because it broke support, now it has to retest. So I will be looking for temporary buys before my long-term sell. Remember, the sell is long-term because in a long-term frame we broke out of the daily support, and what do? We printed a continuation pattern, right? That's our long-term trade. We're looking for the sells, but short-term, before we get to the sells, I managed to spot this buy. And firstly, I knew that the market has to go up, so now I'm looking for buys before my sell. I had to go down the time frame just to check what's going on there. And what do we have? Another form of structure, right? Another form of structure. I was able to see a nice pattern. I was able to see nice trend line here, which will act as our resistance area. And because we didn't have this spot, right? Because we didn't have this, I used one of my techniques, which is called the 2-1 point technique. Basically, I have 2 points. I'm really not going to explain it that much more. I have 2 points right here, and I have 1 point right here. So I will clone this trend way back down to my 1 point right there, right? And this will then act as my support. Remember, we didn't have this, so it wasn't confirmed, right? It wasn't confirmed, but temporarily it will act as support, right? I will be waiting for price to touch this newly found support and react to it, right? So what I do is I just wait for price to come touch my zone right here, this newly found support, and had a nice position right here. Had a nice position right here, baby. Yeah, nice position. Yeah, that support 50p, stop loss, aim for resistance, right? And that was literally like enough confluence for me. But if you generally need a lot of confluence, you could just whip up your Fibonacci retracement tool, bro. Go to your highest point, lowest point, and as you can see, exactly at that point of support is our 23.6 Fibonacci retracement confluence. Further confluence will be probably like using zones, which I had, but I'm really not gonna go through that. I just wanted to show like the easiest way to get this trade, bro. Check you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, peace out.